What are you doing, Big Walt?
Wheel bearings. I'll take the hubs off, pull wheel bearings, clean them, new seals, re-grease, and put them back. But literally this was run, I believe, all season. And the grease that we use, that's it. And you can see how clean the bearing still is, and it's perfectly fine. It's still white right in here. And the grease was white when we started, so it's pretty good stuff. So we clean everything up, wipe everything down. We've taken, like I said, these will get washed, inspected. Unless they get dry, they don't really go bad. But it's something that you should do every year. Some guys will do them in between. We'll check them, but they just really don't. The rears might get a little bit. I think we redid them a couple times this year, but honestly, I don't think they really even needed it. But we just do it because it's better to do it. And then we'll just go through this whole front end. I'll take this whole front end apart. Every Heim joint here, it'll come apart and it'll get checked. A lot of them I'll just replace automatically. Jenny's trying to help here.
She is. She's trying to. She's trying to film.
Yeah, she's trying to do filming, and yeah, just inspect all brand new bolts. We always change out bolts and go through, but all of this stuff will come off, and you can do it in almost a night. Pull it off, check your Heim joints, jam nuts. I like to put a little Nemesis in these so they just adjust really good, and we just do the same thing to both sides. And so I kind of start at the front, work my way to the back for the most part, and we'll do a whole car, and then we'll do Walt's car, check it, and then as we go, we keep a list of stuff that we need. So if I need, 5 left-hand Heim joints and 5 rights or whatever, we just do a list, and then we'll order them, and just keep working our way to the back. Stuff that needs to be sent out. This year we jumped on it really early because of the fact that we might go south and race again, and also the fact of lead times on things. We didn't want to be waiting, so that's why motors were snapped out. Motors really didn't need anything crazy. One had a really bad oil leak that needed to be attended to, and of course we can't take them apart, so I think there's a intake gasket or something goofy, and then they're going to get valve springs and stuff. But the crate motors, we don't have to freshen and do all that like the big guys, so that's a little bit of a bonus. But yeah, we just basically start at the front of the car, work our way all the way through, checking everything. One of the things I like to check in the winter is I'll take all the wiring and all the connections, check all those connections, clean all the connections, check the wires, put them back. Dirt cars take it hard. I mean, we're in the calcium chloride, water, dirt, grime, whatever, and so lots of times your car doesn't want to start, doesn't want to, doesn't act right. It's something in that. It's a ground. It's something goofy like that. So little stuff like that. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm starting here on the front tonight. I'll take these apart. We'll get them washed. We'll get this stuff inspected. We always check the rotors. These are in good shape because they were new. They've only got a few races on them. Brake pads, check those, and yeah, just kind of work our way through. So this car's only got six or eight races on it since we put it together. Mm-hmm. So everything's pretty fresh on it, but still. And like I said, if you keep your stuff each time, it's cheaper to fix it and fix it right every time if you can. And then come winter time, you don't have this huge deal to do. Body panels, stuff like that. That's kind of normal. We just get those and have them rewrapped, snap them on. But so yeah, you're really helping tonight, aren't you, Jenny?
Jenny is helping.
Jenny is really. She comes out here a lot, and she's a little bit jealous right now of the camera. She don't think.
I haven't been home in a week, really. So,
right.
Yeah, she's.
Yeah, Heather's been gone, so
me. I was nannying.
We've been Heatherless.
So that's another reason why we haven't been posting videos. I was gone for a week. I started graduate classes too to earn my master's in special ed, so it's been pretty busy.
Yeah.
Pretty busy.
So Jenny's been missing everybody.
She has.
And she thinks now she's a star.
She is a star.
You're a star, huh? You a star? You a star? Yeah. So Jenny's helping.
Oh, Jenny, you move the camera. There.
So if you're wondering, I just pulled the rear bearing out, pull the seal. If you've never done this before, or for the, obviously racers know how to do it, but you pull the seal out and then this is your rear bearing. It has rear bearing in the hub and front bearing. Front bearing goes in there in a race. Rear bearing, again, you can see how clean that is. That's been in there. I mean, they just don't, you know, we don't get them, they don't get that hot. But you might be wondering why the rotor looks different than some maybe you've seen. And this is what they call a floated rotor. So it actually moves. It helps align the brake caliper when we come onto the brakes. When it goes to squeeze, it helps align everything. It's a little fancier setup. It's a little more costly. But contrary, I've said this before in other videos, people think that, you know, I'm a race car, I don't need brakes. Well, that's not true at all. Yeah, the better your brakes are, the faster you go. And the guys who, you know, that are winning races know exactly what I'm talking about. And if you haven't figured that out yet, well, you know, are there places you don't use a lot of brake? Yeah, but every racetrack has its little, you know, quirks. But anyway, a good brake system. So this just, it lets it float. So like, you can't even see that. You can probably maybe hear it. It actually rattles. That's the way it is. That's why it's wired, so these bolts don't come through. But this piece is an adapter. It bolts to it, to the main hub. And then this goes on, and it's you can see these little cuts in here. They're actually oversized, and it lets that rotor actually move just a little bit. So it's not something new to the market, but if you've never seen one up close, that's what you're looking at. It's a floated rotor on the front of the car. Makes the braking nice and smooth too. Places that we use the brake, there are places that we don't use so much brake, but you definitely want to have a good brake system in any car. So that's brake system 101. But yeah, we'll just take these bearings. They'll get cleaned. Again, we'll inspect them. Very rarely anything wrong with any of them. It's a piece that you buy. If you buy good ones to start with, you can just run over and over and over. You know, so we'll replace the seal. And even these, if you pop them out, these I think I ran them 2 years. But you can replace them because they don't really leak if everything's done right. So this year we'll get a couple of new ones. So, but yeah. So anyway, off to the washing. We do more parts cleaning than anything this time of the year. Clean, 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 inspect, clean, inspect. Do lots and lots of that. So it gets kind of boring, but it's got to be done, so we do it. I like to just put the stuff. I always keep everything, kind of keep it together. Like this whole thing will get cleaned and inspected, like I said. So I'll put the ring, and lots of times I'll set the stuff. If I'm not going to work on the hub right off, I'll actually leave the seal in it, take it off. I'll just set the stuff in there loose and just put the cap on, just enough so it's not going to, because these actually screw on. Anyway, everything's always together, and you don't lose pieces. They're little, and you know,
easy to lose pieces.
Easy to lose pieces. So you just have to do that. And then if you have more than one car, you kind of want to keep track of what goes where and stuff like that. So, but like right now, he's working on the rear end. I'm working on the front end of this car. It's nice to get the rear end stuff, you know, cleaned and that stuff out of the way. And again, it's easy. If you've never taken the rear end stuff apart, it's not, when they say inspect, doesn't necessarily mean you have to tear one completely apart, pull the jack shaft and everything out, especially in the crates. If it's you know, everything rolls good, take it apart, inspect it, look at it, clean, maybe new seals, maybe new front cover seals, stuff like that. If everything spins freely, if there's a little hitch in it, then you probably got to look at a bearing. Look for nicks and like on your ring and pinion, if it's starting to get sharp, there's some wear, might be time to look at having a new ring and pinion done. We'll take the axles, put them into the spool, and see how much play there is. It's an aluminum spool. Even in a crate car, they kind of take a pounding. They don't go bad that often, but you know, after a while they can get there. So if you're getting too much play, who knows? And so those are just little things that we'll look for. Clean it all up, inspect it, and put it back together. It's really more just time and elbow grease. It don't really cost anything to do that part. So another just little tip of the day as far as that goes. So yeah, Walt's working on that. He's already over cleaning stuff right now. He won't do the dishes in the house, but he'll clean stuff in the solvent over there. So
It's okay. I'll stick to the dishes in the
Yeah, we
in
let
the
Heather take
kitchen.
care of that.
Not out here.
Should probably put some gloves on.
Yes.
So as you've probably been watching, I think Heather had it on time delay because she didn't want to watch me clean 12, whatever it was, bearings and races and stuff. See them all get cleaned. One of the reasons you might think, well, we use a lot of air. The grease that we use we don't use a lot of it, but what we do use really grabs. So it's really nice to, if you take your bearings, when you clean them, look through the back. The grease will get caught in here. All right, so you can spray this, and if that grease won't go anywhere. So you kind of break it down. It takes a little bit. It's just more of a patience thing. But that's a bearing I have that's got a lot of laps on it. It's completely clean, ready to be repacked. This is a race that I did knock out. Was going to change out or whatever. But that way you can, you know, and everything we do nowadays is about low friction. So keeping it clean, really good grease, your races and everything like that, and you know, see one spin, they spin and spin and spin. So that's it in a nutshell as far as that. Every wheel, you do them all, clean them, use a good grease, last you the whole season most likely. Keep an eye on them. Like I say, we will check them, but it used to be an old practice of, oh my God, we're gonna pack the wheel bearings, gonna pack the wheel bearings. Just don't see that anymore, and we run some big tracks, long tracks. I can't speak for the big blocks and those guys. They're pounding on them a little bit harder, but I got to believe that you know, they're checking them. But I think the same thing. The durability has come so far with all of this stuff that if you do your job and just give it a quick check, it'll save you a bunch of work later. So until the next time, like and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and we'll try and teach you something the next time around.